this is Newsmaker from the staple of news and current affairs of OSBC conglomerate. And as we usually give it to you, we are making news from a technocrat who knows the nitty-gritty of our education. Then, because the level of education will determine the level of growth of a particular society. Therefore, if our education is having some challenges or is having some misunderstanding, we need to shed more light into it. There are some misunderstanding between the people and the government regarding to few policies that is on ground now. Then the actualization will lead failures or will lead to be to the detriment of not only the parents but the students and particularly the society. That is why we are bringing an educationist to the core, to your ward, for your enjoyment this afternoon. Is Dr. Olufemi Bibilari. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
He's a player.
The first question I always ask is, how is school?
Oh, school is going on fine.
Okay.
God is in control.
Okay, thank God. And if we must also talk about the school, then you have to see the program at the commercial department. And we thank you for answering our call all the time. Yes, the federal government last week tells Nigerians that the age of students entering or writing LSC or attempting to enter into institutions, particularly universities, should be age of maturity in consonance with the constitution. That is 18 years, age of maturity. Then people are now clamoring that how can that be? We have seen some universities admitting a pupil, or because we can say a student of 13, 14, 15 years, not up to that 18. And with the number of, with the level of technology nowadays, you discover that some of the very children, majority of them are performing very well. But the little number of them that are being coerced by unscrupulous society on the campus makes the government to fear that the risk can degenerate into famine. Then, Doctor, what do you see to this policy?
Thank you. Once again, good afternoon, our viewers at home. When we talk of policies, it is unfortunate that our government at times, they don't sit down, call the stakeholders, discuss before we bring out one policy or the other. I will refer to the removal of fuel subsidy. We just rushed into it, and we can see the outcome of that now. This issue of education, pegging the age of writing WAEC down to 18, the age of writing NECO, even when there is a mix-up, they set the age of writing UTMB exam as well, at this JAM. How can the three come up at the same year? It is one should come up before the other. That means they should write NECO or WAEC before going for JAM. It should not be the same year. Then, we don't know how they come about that requisite of 18 years to start off with. You see, I thank God I don't have any child in the secondary education this time around, but none of my children enter the re-primary school above the age of 5. So if this is the case, that people being in primary 1 by 5, and there is no nursery and primary school, which is the modern school of today, that gets to primary 6, is always primary 5, but they call it grade 6, which means spending just 5 years. 5 plus 5, that is 10. Then the first junior secondary school, 3, the other one, 3. So if they are talking of 16, you will have said it's a welcome idea. We, the proprietors of private school, initially, we loved the idea when they were moving it up, that it will come up or not. Because we don't want parents to force us to promote pupils or students that are not supposed to be promoted. Underage. We love it. But this one now that they said they are pegging it, I don't think it is a good policy. And besides, if you want to go by that, then that means we should introduce vocational studies, whereby probably for 2 years they will study fundamental computer, they will go into woodwork, go into all these kind of artisan works. But now that they said they should sit at home, they want to. It's unfortunate we are talking of the number of students that are out of school in this country. We are having the largest in Africa. If we call this one, that means if they finish their secondary school, they cannot write for head, they cannot gain admission, then we are throwing them out of school again. To do what? It's unfair.
But what the government is saying, when we look at it from this angle of maturity, when we see that some students who are under 18 getting admission, majority of them, when they catch up with some cultists suspect, majority of underage are always the majority. That is part of the things that people or students below 18 years are easily maneuvered by big boys.
Thank you. I beg to disagree with that statement. Age is not the only criteria that we use to measure maturity.
But it's part of
there are some students that are beyond 13 that are so brilliant, that are so sound upstairs. In China, in recent time, there is a professor. He's just 21 years old. He backed PhD at the age of 18. Professorship at the age of 21. I mean,
in Germany, 17 years,
yes.
Back PhD, 17.
Are they not endowed as we are endowed in Nigeria? We should not regret being in Nigeria. So the one that when you talk of underage joining, that they can easily maneuver them. No. What of? Are we not seeing people over 18, over 20 something, over 60 that are in court?
They are. That one. They took the decision by themselves. But some of the very people, they coerce them into it. They don't know. They coerce them because of their inexperience. They might know.
Can they coerce 18 or 19 years student as well? Look, we should not look at it in that.
18 years above has some independence of thinking than below 18 years. That is it.
There are some of these. Look, I thank one university in those days. He do admit even 13, 14 years old. Even you can see. That is why we said the education in this country, what is operating in the north is not what is operating here. When we talk of WAEC and NECO that we are talking of, majority of those people that gain admission into university in the north, they don't undergo this stress. It is a sort of promotion. They just promote them from secondary school, they go to one blah blah blah, mushroom advanced studies. They find themselves in 200 levels in universities. So they have nothing to do with this. Why? Moreover, the professor, the minister of education is a northerner. I wonder if all these allergies in the north, say 13 years old female girl are matured for marriage, and they are now saying 18, under 18 is not right for why. What are they saying?
Okay, but when you look at the plan, can we say that pupils, students of 13 years, 14 years, are they ripe for university education? When you look at it globally,
Mr. Moderator, really, when we talk of globally, they are matured.
They are matured.
Yes, in those places, you don't need to undergo 10, 15 subjects as we are doing here. Once they know you are good in physics, you follow it from the onset, from ab initio. And before you are 13, you are 15, you are a professor in that line. Besides, in Canada, I'm sure of this. Once you are out of secondary school, you are free, no matter what age it is, you are free to look for a job. And once you've gotten that job, going to university, going to higher education is a choice by students. You that you've been employed with your school cert, you are oga. They will continue to put you on top of the graduate that is coming tomorrow. You know that one is not happening in Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
Once you are not university graduate, they will keep on suppressing you.
Irrespective of experience.
So that is why we are rushing for university education here. Over there, they don't count it as anything. It's just additional qualification. You can be a professional in your own field without stepping into university. So when we talk of globally, 13, 14 are not too young to be in the university. But when we talk of Nigeria, we are not even saying that they should reduce the age limit to 13 or to 14. But we believe 16 is still okay.
What about 15?
That's what I said. 15, 16 is still okay.
What about 14? What about 14?
14 seems too young.
Supposing a pupil is able to clear his WAEC at the age of 13, then can we say that such a person will not write WAEC?
That is what you are saying. You are saying the same thing that I said also. It is only in this country that you are saying that. To me, mind you, I said 13, 14, they are not too small to write WAEC. But in this our country, we believe they are small, but that is notwithstanding. What they are calculating is that you spend 5 years in primary, 6 years in this. At least, if you are 14, you should be matured.
But what you usually tell us is that university is for mature souls. That can we say that academic is different from maturity? A student may be brilliant, but there are some challenges that people face in the university. Can such all this one be able to, because before somebody reaches the age of 18, the person might have many experiences that can allow him or her to face any challenge. But can we say a 15-year-old or 16-year-old can be able to face such a challenge of adults?
In this digital era, which experience do you expect 18 years old students to have gotten? Those that were born with silver spoons, those that were they locked them up inside gates for all the time that they were in primary and secondary school
to home.
Which experience are you? They drive them to school.
They bring them home.
Back home.
Inside the gate.
That's it. Which experience do you expect them?
I think that is why the government is saying that before they get to 18 years, they will have been a mature person, grown enough, developed intellectually, and some other things like that.
This thing that we are talking of, honestly speaking, is disadvantage to us in the south. And you talk of 18 in the north, high school in the north, you can see pupils of students 19, 20 years old just going to primary school. At times they might have gone to all these Quranic schools. At times they do this almonjiri of a thing before thinking. Even in most cases they force them to primary school. They don't care about Western education in those places. So that is the example they are putting side by side, thinking, okay, majorly those people in primary school over there, they are 18, they are 19, they are 20. They thought the same thing is applicable here. It is not.
Okay, Doctor, are you saying that the policy is sentimental?
That is it. We have not been doing the same thing before. Come. This admission of a thing that we are talking of. They will tell you, if you don't score 250, 270 in the south, you cannot gain admission to university. But in the north, if you score as low as 120, 100, they give you admission. They will come through as somebody that is so brilliant. It is sentimental. I believe the policy comes up to put us back to some extent, to take us back to Stone Age, to take us back to barbaric era. We are not. We are in digital era. We've improved right from the time of Baba Awolowo and Co. You can't compare education in Southwest with those in the North.
Doctor, you talk about certificate the other time, but just last week we heard about certificate of expiring, Togo certificate, and some other places from abroad. Even in Nigeria here, we have some places where they are selling certificates of different universities and polytechnics. What can cause that?
Well, what caused it can be simplified. It is because of the too much importance that we attached to certificates. I told you in overseas, especially in Canada, I've been there severally. Once you are out of secondary school, you look for a job straight off. They don't care the certificate you are holding. They believe higher education is higher education. Once you are out, because they call it high school over there. So they don't lay too much emphasis on certificates. But here, because we lay too much emphasis on it, the dollar will want to have a certificate. Come. How can you see any establishment employing people without degree, certificate? They will even, and this is even foreign, if they want to employ you, if you apply for a job, they will say you should be under 25. So when you don't enter university before 18, I don't know how you want to finish and apply for a job when you are under 25. So that means they don't want us to apply again. Besides, look at we civil servants. Majority of us.
You were retiring.
Yes, I retired as a civil servant. Majority of us, we got married at age 35. Mark you. And we are just to spend 35 years again in service. If care is not taken, your firstborn, if you follow this policy that you are talking of, your firstborn will still be in the university by the time you are retiring. How do you want you to train others? So it is a policy that I think they should rethink. They should not just sign it.
You don't support it.
I'm not. Without what I've been saying, it shows I'm not.
Okay, let us still hammer on the certificate cashiering. Yes, some people within a few months, they went to that universities, I don't want to mention the name of, then they come back having the certificate that we labor for 4 plus, because it's not 4 years, 4+ years. Yeah. Then, do you think that that one can be justifiable? If somebody just come and have certificate that we are still laboring for within a year, bringing it?
Thank you. You even extended it to some extent, saying within a year. Within 6 months. There are some universities in Guinea, all these places. Within 6 months, we have a degree. What I'm saying now, our governments, they have means of checking which school is actually accredited. Some of these universities that you are talking of, they are not accredited. So if you bring any certificate and the list of all universities that are accredited, they are with the government. They can easily check, even in foreign or neighboring countries. They can easily check whether they are accredited. Besides, there are some universities, even in Nigeria, as you mentioned, they might have been accredited for physiology, philosophy, or this. But under the table, they will just add medicine because they know there are many students seeking admission for medicine. They will add medicine, whereas they are not accredited for medicine. So all this, when you bring a certificate, they should screen it and look at it. From which university are you? Then they should contact a National University Commission and know the numbers of universities accredited and the courses they are accredited for.
Doctor, yes, you are into education and schools. The proliferation of private schools, private universities, their purpose is to make money. Do you think that they have the right to issue out? Some of them are accredited. Can they have some courses? Some universities have some courses that they give people certificate. Even I know a university, a polytechnic, who issue out certificate of law in polytechnic. Then, do you think that in the name of money making, this thing cannot happen? to even certified accredited school?
That is what I'm saying. The polytechnic that you talk of, they are accredited for certain technological courses, not for law, not for medicine. But they added those courses under the table without being accredited. That is what I said. Wherever you take any certificate to, they have means of discerning genuine certificate from fake certificate. They should check. You say private school, yes, they are established to make money, but it's not unnecessary quick money that can spoil the life, the ambition of students. So that is what I always say. If you are a secondary school, run your secondary school education to the best of your knowledge. Not that underneath you say you are now College of Health Technology. It's now health technology everywhere. I've seen a building, it said College of Health Technology. So when does that started coming? Well, it's not a primary school.
Okay, let's look at this also. Recently, more than 500,000 candidates failed SSC. Then, look at that one. Can we say that the SSC board, they are doing their work as it is supposed, or there should be some negative instinct in that this year's work results?
Thank you. This year's WAEC results, it is unfortunate that it is as woeful as that. In the education, you know, I know much about it. This digital of a thing is causing problems to some extent. I don't know. Do you know majority of the subjects that they attended in this year's SSC WAEC? Students will just come up that they've seen the question and the question has been answered on internet. Whereas it is not, those are the advantages of cyber cafe. It is not all the questions answered that are correct. But once they've seen that one or two out of it are correct, they believe they should follow order to the last letter. And whereas the exam, you can't blame the exam board. Maybe because they discover it has leaked, they've changed the questions. But they will not know. They will think since mathematics is correct, English will be correct. They start writing jargon.
Okay, why want to follow the line of JAMB now by introducing CBT? Can that one look at why some of the papers you have to write them now? But if they want to follow JAMB to make it to be objective only, can that one pay the students and the parents and the society in general?
Thank you. We've started considering it. And all secondary school have started upgrading. But with the meeting that we had with them, they said it's not that they will cancel physical written examination completely, but majorly, and the objective aspect of it will be computer based. So there will still be writing. If it is only on computer based test, then that means we are dragging ourselves backward with 2 or 3 steps, because these students might close their eyes and be pressing A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. But when they write, you see their expression, you see what they are up to. It is then that at times you will see students trying to answer a question. You might not have the straightforward question, but when you see him or her perambulating around the correct answer, you will assess him and give and score him good marks.
Thank you very much. This is the convenient point. I appreciate you, Dr. Olufemi Bibilari. We thank you very much. God bless you. Very good. On behalf of the producer, executive producer of the program, Moturayo Ayigbayo, and the producer, Oluwatoyin Yusuf, we appreciate your coming. and your contribution. People have heard you. By the way, we are going to meet again on this platform, Newsmaker. Adeleke saying bye for now.